Maya's hand shook as she pressed the pen to the last page. The lawyer slid the document closer. She didn't read the fine print again. She'd read it 17 times. Each clause was a cage. Clause 7, no emotional attachment. Clause 12, no physical contact beyond medical necessity. Clause 19, immediate separation after birth, no visitation, no names, no letters. Breach any clause, and the $250,000 vanished. So did her sister's chance to live. Across the marble table, Damian Black watched her with the patience of a man who bought and sold companies before breakfast. He hadn't blinked in 20 seconds. His suit was charcoal, his tie the color of dried blood. Late 30s, but his eyes looked 50. Grief had carved lines around his mouth that money couldn't fill. The ink dries faster than hesitation, he said. His voice was flat. Not cruel. Worse, indifferent. Maya signed. Her full name. Maya Rose Collins. Then she set the pen down and looked at him. When do I move in? Tomorrow. The medical suite is prepared. You'll have a private wing. No staff interaction beyond the cook and the nurse. He stood, buttoned his jacket. One more thing. The baby is not yours. You are an incubator with a heartbeat. If you feel anything for it, you will destroy yourself. I've seen it happen. He walked out. The lawyer handed her a key card. She stared at it until her vision blurred. Then she went home to her 8-year-old sister, Lily, who was coughing blood into a tissue. The hospital had given Lily 6 months without surgery. Maya had 3 months to carry a stranger's child and walk away empty-handed. Empty womb. Empty-hearted. But Lily would live. The next morning, a black SUV arrived at her apartment. Maya kissed Lily's forehead, told her she was going away for a special job, and left a prepaid phone for emergencies. She stepped into the car without looking back. The driver didn't speak. The windows were tinted so dark she could barely see the city disappear. The estate was 2 hours north. A fortress of glass and stone behind iron gates. The main house loomed like a sleeping giant. Damian's housekeeper, Marta, met her at the guest house, a smaller building connected by a glass corridor. Sterile. White walls. A bed, a desk, a bathroom. No pictures. No color. The nursery next door was empty. Ready for the baby she would never hold after delivery. Medical exam in 1 hour, Marta said. Her accent was Eastern European. Her eyes were kind but professional. You will eat. You will rest. You will not speak to Mr. Black unless he speaks first. Maya nodded. She sat on the bed. The sheets smelled like bleach. She put a hand on her empty stomach and whispered, "We're doing this for Lily." The IVF worked on the first try. 3 embryos. 2 failed. 1 stuck. 2 weeks later, the doctor smiled and said, "Congratulations, Miss Collins. You're pregnant." Damian was in the room. He didn't smile. He nodded once. Good. Continue the schedule. Then he left. That night, Maya sat on the bathroom floor and cried. Not from sadness. From the crush of knowing a life was inside her, a life she had agreed to abandon. She pressed both palms to her lower belly and said, "I'm sorry, little one. I already love you." And that's the worst part. Month 1 passed in silence. She ate what the nutritionist ordered. She walked the garden path, exactly 15 minutes, twice a day. She did not knock on the main house door. Damian did not visit. They communicated through Marta and a legal app on a tablet. Blood work normal. Weight gain acceptable. No complications. Month 2. The morning sickness hit like a freight train. Maya vomited for 6 hours straight. Marta called the doctor. Damian appeared at her doorway at 2 a.m., still in his suit, his tie loose. "You're dehydrated," he said. It wasn't concern. It was observation. "I'm aware," she gasped, wiping her mouth. "Do you have a point, or did you just come to watch?" He stepped closer. For a moment, something flickered in his eyes. Then it died. The baby's health is paramount. Drink the electrolyte solution. If you vomit again, we'll admit you to the hospital. "And my health?" Maya asked, her voice raw. Damian turned away. "You signed the contract." He left. The door clicked shut. Maya drank the solution and hated how badly she wanted him to stay. At 18 weeks, she felt the first kick. She was alone in the nursery, the empty one she wasn't supposed to enter. She had snuck in to stand by the crib. A flutter. Then a firm tap against her wound. She laughed. Then she cried. Then she whispered, "Hello, Leo." She didn't know why she chose that name. It just came. Like the baby already had a soul that needed naming. Marta caught her there an hour later. Maya had started painting a mural, a simple tree with birds on the wall above the crib. She couldn't stop herself. The paint was non-toxic. She checked twice. "You are breaking the rules," Marta said softly. "Then fire me." Maya kept painting. "Take the money. Let Lily die. Tell me how that feels." Marta said nothing. But she didn't report it. Damian found out 3 days later. He walked into the nursery, his dead wife's dream, and saw the mural. Saw Maya's rounded belly under a paint-stained shirt. Saw her humming. His voice was ice. "You are breaching the contract." Maya turned. She didn't flinch. "I'm growing a human, Mr. Black. You can't legislate a heartbeat. You can't fine me for loving something that kicks me at 3 a.m. She stepped closer. "What's his name going to be? Or haven't you bothered to think of one?" Damian's jaw tightened. "The baby will be named by me. After my late wife's father." "That's not a name. That's a gravestone." Maya set down the paintbrush. "You bought my wound. You didn't buy my silence. And you sure as hell didn't buy my heart." For 5 seconds, Damian said nothing. Then he turned and walked out. But that night, Maya saw his silhouette outside her window. He stood in the rain, watching the guest house lights. He didn't knock. He just stood there. And Maya realized, the contract was already broken. Not by her. By him. Week 24. Maya's belly was a tight drum. The baby, Leo, she still called him privately, moved like a swimmer doing laps. She talked to him constantly. About Lily. About the garden. About the song their mother used to sing before she died. Maya didn't know if the baby could hear her. She didn't care. Talking made the silence less hungry. Damian started appearing more often. Not to speak. Just to observe. He'd stand in the doorway of the guest house kitchen while she ate her mandated kale salad. He'd watch from the garden path while she walked her 15 minutes. Once, she caught him holding the ultrasound photo from week 12. His thumb traced the curve of the baby's spine. "You can sit down," Maya said one evening. She was on the couch, reading a nursing textbook. Lily's surgery was still 8 weeks away. The money was in escrow. All Maya had to do was deliver a healthy baby and disappear. Damian remained standing. I prefer to stand. You prefer to suffer. She didn't look up. My father was like you. Silent. Angry. He died of a heart attack at 43. Alone in his car. No one found him for 3 days. The silence stretched. Then Damian sat. On the far end of the couch. 2 feet apart. An ocean of contract clauses between them. My wife's name was Helena, he said. His voice cracked on the last syllable. She was 24 weeks pregnant when the car hydroplaned. The baby died first. She died in the operating room 2 hours later. I held her hand. It was still warm. But she was gone. Maya set down the book. I'm sorry. Sorry doesn't bring them back. Damian stared at the wall. My parents want an heir. The company needs a successor. I don't need love. Love is a chemical accident that convinces you to reproduce. I already reproduced once. It killed everyone. So you're doing it again, Maya said quietly. With a stranger. No risk of love. Exactly. Then why are you sitting on this couch, Mr. Black? Why aren't you in your mansion, counting your money? Damian turned to look at her. For the first time, his eyes weren't ice. They were wounded. Raw. A man drowning in a suit. Because you hum, he said. Helena used to hum. The same song. I don't know the name. But you hum it when you paint. Maya's breath caught. It's Moon River. My mother sang it. Hum it again. She did. Softly. Her hand rested on her belly. The baby kicked in rhythm. Damian closed his eyes. His shoulders dropped. For 5 minutes, they weren't a billionaire and a surrogate. They were 2 broken people sharing a melody in a room that had no business holding tenderness. He left before the song ended. She heard his footsteps hurry down the corridor. Then the slam of a car door. Then silence. Week 28. The doctor found a minor issue. The umbilical cord had a loop that wasn't dangerous but required monitoring. Damian panicked. He showed up at the clinic without calling first. He grabbed Maya's hand in the waiting room and didn't let go. She's not dying, the doctor said calmly. The baby is fine. Maya is fine. We just need weekly scans. Damian's grip was crushing. Maya didn't pull away. She turned her palm up and laced her fingers through his. He looked down at their hands like he'd never seen skin before. You're shaking, she whispered. I can't lose another one, he said. His voice was barely audible. I can't. You won't. Maya squeezed. I'm not Helena. And this baby, your baby, he's a fighter. He kicks like a boxer. Damian laughed. A short, broken sound. A boxer. A featherweight. But determined. She smiled. I call him Leo. You can change it later. But that's his name until you give him a real one. Damian didn't say he liked the name. But he didn't say he hated it. That was the closest thing to approval she'd ever get. That night, he drove her back to the estate himself. No driver. Just Damian and Maya in a black Bentley, her belly pressing against the seatbelt, the baby music playing on the radio because she'd plugged in her phone without asking. You're insubordinate, he said. You're insufferable, she replied. Fair. They sat in the car outside the guest house for 20 minutes, not talking. Then Damian said, my birthday is Saturday. I'm 39. I don't celebrate. We're celebrating, Maya said. I'll bake a cake. You'll eat a slice. And you'll pretend to be human for 1 hour. The contract doesn't allow. I don't care. She got out. She didn't look back. But she heard him laugh again. That time, it wasn't broken. It was almost alive. Saturday came. Marta helped Maya bake a chocolate cake in the guest house kitchen. No candles, Damian said candles were a fire hazard. But Maya added a single candle anyway. A trick candle that relit itself. She carried the cake to the main house. Damian was in his study, staring at a wall of monitors showing stock prices. He didn't turn when she entered. "Happy birthday," Maya said. "I told you not to. And I told you I don't care." She set the cake on his desk. "Blow out the candle." He stared at the flame. "I don't make wishes. They don't come true. Blow it out anyway." He did. The candle relit. He blinked. Maya laughed, a real laugh, loud and unguarded. Damian looked at her like she was a solar flare. "What?" she asked. "Nothing." He took a fork. He ate the cake. 2 bites. Then the whole slice. Then he said, "Why are you being kind to me? I'm paying you to be silent. Not to beg. Because kindness isn't in the contract." Maya leaned against the desk. "And because someone should be kind to you. You clearly forgot how." For a long moment, Damian didn't speak. Then he reached out and touched her belly. Lightly. His palm flat against the curve where Leo was kicking. "Hello, Leo," Damian whispered. Maya's eyes filled with tears. She didn't wipe them. She let him feel his son move. And in that quiet, expensive room, the contract tore another seam. Week 30. The preeclampsia arrived without warning. Maya woke up with a headache that felt like a knife behind her eyes. Her hands were swollen. Her vision blurred at the edges. She tried to stand and fell against the bathroom sink. The glass cracked under her palm. Blood and water. She grabbed the emergency button. Pressed it. Then the world went gray. She woke in an ambulance. Damian was there. He wasn't wearing a suit. Sweatpants. A t-shirt. He looked 10 years younger and 100 times more terrified. "You're staying awake," he ordered. "That's an order. Do you hear me? Maya. Maya." Loud and clear, she slurred. "You're yelling. That's new." The paramedic said her blood pressure was 180 over 120. They needed to deliver early. 32 weeks. Maybe sooner. "Save them both," Damian said. He wasn't talking to Maya. He was talking to the universe. To God. To the ghost of Helen. "I don't care about the contract. Save them both." Maya reached for his hand. He grabbed it like a drowning man grabs a rope. At the hospital, they stabilized her with magnesium. The baby was fine, heart rate strong, movement good. But Maya needed bed rest. Strict bed rest. No walking. No painting. No humming if it raised her blood pressure. "I'll stay here," Damian said. "You can't," the doctor replied. "Only one visitor at a time. And you're not family." Damian pulled out his phone. He called his lawyer. He said 6 words that changed everything: rewrite the contract. Add spousal medical proxy. The lawyer paused. "Sir, that requires a marriage license. Or at minimum, a domestic partnership." A surrogate can't be classified as a spouse. It's illegal. Then make it legal, Damian snapped. I don't care about the money. I don't care about the company. I care about her. He hung up. Then he walked back into Maya's hospital room and sat in the chair beside her bed. He didn't explain. He just held her hand and watched her sleep. Maya woke 2 hours later. Damian was still there. His head was bowed. His thumb traced circles on her knuckles. You stayed, she whispered. I stayed. Why? He looked up. His eyes were red. Because when the paramedic carried you out, I thought you were dead. And the only thing I felt was that I hadn't told you enough. I hadn't said. He stopped. Shook his head. It doesn't matter. Say it anyway. I can't. Damian. He closed his eyes. When he opened them, the ice was gone. Melted. Replaced by something raw and terrified. I think I've been in love with you since you painted that tree, he said. And I hate myself for it. Because love is what killed Helena. Not the car. The love. If I hadn't loved her, I wouldn't have asked her to drive that day. If I hadn't loved her, her death wouldn't have hollowed me out. And if I love you, if I love this baby, I'm going to lose you too. That's the rule. That's always been the rule. Maya was crying. Silent tears tracking down her temples onto the hospital pillow. You don't get to decide that, she said. You don't get to decide the ending before the story starts. The contract is the story. Then burn the contract. I can't. Your sister's surgery. Lily would rather die than have me sell my heart for her lungs. Maya gripped his hand with what little strength she had. I signed because I was desperate. But I stayed because of you. Not the money. Not the baby. You, Damian. The man who stands in the rain and watches my window. The man who ate a whole slice of chocolate cake even though he hates sugar. The man who just told his lawyer to break the law for me. Damian's breath shuddered. If I burn the contract, I lose control. And when I lose control, people die. Then we'll be careful, Maya said. Together. No more contracts. No more cages. Just you and me and Leo. And Lily. And Marta. And a whole messy, terrifying, beautiful life. He pressed his forehead to hers. They stayed like that until the nurse came to check Maya's blood pressure. It was still high. But her pulse was steady. Week 34. The doctor scheduled a C-section for week 35. The preeclampsia was stable but risky. Every day the baby stayed inside was good for his lungs. Every day was also a day Maya's kidneys might fail. Damian didn't leave the hospital. He slept in the chair. He ate vending machine sandwiches. He read aloud from a book about gardening, Maya's request, because she said Leo needed to hear his voice. You're going to bankrupt my company with all this missed work, Maya joked. I own 47 companies, he said. They can run themselves. You can't. She smiled. A real smile. It lit up the grim hospital room. When this is over, she said, I want to take Lily to the ocean. She's never seen it. We'll take her, Damian said. The three of us. 4. 5. I don't care how many. You're not doing this alone. That's not in the contract. Damian reached into his pocket. He pulled out a folded piece of paper, the original agreement, creased and worn from being read and reread. This contract, he said, is the stupidest thing I've ever written. And I wrote a merger that lost $200 million. He held it over the trash can. Then he paused. If I tear this up, you stay. Forever. No running away when it gets hard. I don't run, Maya said. I paint trees in nurseries I'm not supposed to enter. Damian ripped the contract in half. Then quarters. Then eighths. The pieces fluttered into the trash like dead leaves. There, he said. No contract. No rules. Just us. Maya reached for him. He bent down. She kissed him, lightly, carefully, her swollen hands cupping his face. His stubble scratched her palms. He tasted like bad coffee and hope. Just us, she whispered against his lips. 3 days later, at 3:17 a.m., Maya went into labor. The contractions came like waves, each one stronger. Maya gripped Damian's hand so hard she thought she might break his fingers. He didn't flinch. He counted her breaths. In. Out. In. Out. Like a man who had rehearsed this moment 1,000 times in his nightmares. The baby's heart rate is dropping, the nurse said. Calm. Too calm. We're moving her to the OR. Emergency C-section. Damian stood up. I'm coming. You can't. Sterile field. I'm coming, or I will buy this hospital and fire everyone in it. The surgeon nodded. Get him scrubbed in. 30 seconds. Damian held Maya's face in his hands as they wheeled her down the hall. You're going to be fine. You're both going to be fine. I won't let anything happen to you. You can't control that, Maya gasped. Another contraction. You can't control anything. That's the point of being alive. Then I'll be terrified with you. The operating room was blinding white. Maya was given a spinal block. Her lower body went numb. A sheet went up. Damian sat beside her head, holding her hand, watching the clock. He's coming, the surgeon said. Push on 3. Maya didn't feel the push. She felt Damian's forehead against hers. Felt his tears on her cheek. He was crying. The man who hadn't cried in 10 years was sobbing like a child. Then a cry. Thin. Wailing. Furious. Leo was born at 3:52 a.m. 5 pounds, 3 ounces. Tiny. Red-faced. Perfect. The nurse placed him on Maya's chest. Damian cut the cord with shaking hands. Leo's eyes, dark, furious, alive, blinked up at them. Hello, little one, Maya whispered. I already love you. And this time, I don't have to say goodbye. Damian touched Leo's hand. The baby gripped his finger. Squeezed. He's strong, Damian said, his voice wrecked. Like you. For 30 minutes, they held him. Skin to skin. The 3 of them breathing together. No contract. No lawyers. No clauses. Then the nurse said, we need to take him to the NICU for observation. Just a few hours. He's early, but he's healthy. Maya nodded. She kissed Leo's forehead. Damian kissed Maya's forehead. The nurse took the baby away. And then the lawyer arrived. Damian's personal attorney, a woman named Chen with sharp glasses and sharper instincts, stood in the hospital hallway. She held a tablet. On it was the original contract, or what was left of it. Mr. Black, Chen said quietly, you tore up the physical copy. But the digital agreement is still enforceable. Ms. Collins signed an electronic waiver. You're both still bound by Clause 19. Post-birth separation within 2 hours. Damian's face went white. I don't care about the digital agreement. I'll pay the penalty. I'll pay anything. The penalty is not monetary. Chen adjusted her glasses. Clause 19 states that if either party attempts to alter the post-birth separation, the surrogate forfeits all payment. Ms. Collins would lose the $250,000. Her sister's surgery would be cancelled. Maya heard this from the bed. The joy drained out of her like blood from a wound. Lily's surgery is in 4 days, she said. Her voice was hollow. If I lose that money, she dies. Damian turned to Chen. Wire the money from my personal account. Right now. $250,000 to the hospital. No, $500,000. Pay for her sister's treatment, her recovery, her college, everything. I can't, Chen said. The contract explicitly forbids any financial benefit beyond the agreed sum if the separation clause is violated. Ms. Collins would be in breach. The entire agreement becomes void, and you would be legally required to repay all medical expenses she incurred during the pregnancy, including the IVF, including the hospital stay, including the C-section. You'd be suing her for hundreds of thousands she doesn't have. Damian slammed his fist against the wall. Then I won't sue her. The contract is automatic. The bank flags the discrepancy. The court enforces it. You wrote this contract, Mr. Black. You made it ironclad specifically so no one could break it. Maya was crying now. Silent tears. Leo was in the NICU. Lily was at home, coughing, waiting for a surgery that would never come if Maya stayed one more hour. How long do I have? Maya asked. 90 minutes, Chen said. Damian grabbed Chen's tablet and threw it against the wall. It shattered. He didn't care. He fell to his knees beside Maya's bed. I will find a way, he said. I will burn down every court in this country. I will rewrite every law. You are not leaving. You are not taking my son away from his mother. I'm not his mother, Maya whispered. I'm the surrogate. That's what you wanted. That's what I signed. I was wrong. I was so wrong. Damian pressed his forehead to her hand. Please. Don't go. Maya stroked his hair. I have to. For Lily. You understand that, don't you? You have billions. You can hire the best nannies. You can give Leo the world. But I can't give Lily anything if I break this contract. I can't give her life. There has to be another way. There isn't. Maya pulled her hand away. Call the nurse. I need to hold Leo one more time. Then I'll sign whatever exit papers they give me. The next 60 minutes were the longest of Damian's life. He watched Maya hold Leo. Watched her sing Moon River to a baby who would never remember her voice. Watched her kiss his tiny fists, his closed eyelids, his round belly. Watched her hand him back to the nurse. Goodbye, Leo, she said. Be happier than me. Then she walked out of the NICU, down the hospital corridor, and into a taxi Damian had called for her. She didn't look back. Damian stood at the window. He watched the taxi disappear. He held Leo, who was crying, a hungry, desperate cry that no bottle could soothe. Because Leo wasn't hungry for milk. He was hungry for her. And Damian realized, the contract he couldn't break had just broken him instead. The first week without Maya was a special kind of hell. Leo cried constantly. Not the normal newborn cries. These were wails of rage, as if he knew something essential had been stolen from him. Nannies came and went. 3 quit in 5 days. One said, This baby is breathing. I don't know what you did, Mr. Black, but he's lost someone. Damian didn't sleep. He stayed in the nursery, the one with the half-finished tree mural that Maya had painted. He held Leo for hours. He bounced. He shushed. He sang Moon River in a voice so cracked it barely qualified as music. Leo stopped crying when Damian sang. Not because the singing was good. Because the song reminded him of her. I know, Damian whispered. I miss her too. He tried to call Maya. Her phone was disconnected. He sent a car to her apartment. The driver reported back, she's not there. Neighbors say she moved out 2 days ago. No forwarding address. Maya had disappeared. Not from cruelty. From survival. She knew if she saw Damian again, if she saw Leo again, she would stay. And Lily would die. Lily's surgery was scheduled for Thursday. Damian wired the money through a shell company to avoid the contract clause. It didn't matter. The contract was already breached. The money would be clawed back automatically if Maya didn't comply with the separation. But Damian didn't care about the money. He cared about finding her. Week 2. Damian hired a private investigator. The PI found Maya within 24 hours. She was staying in a motel outside the city, 60 miles from the hospital where Lily was admitted. She visited Lily every day, then returned to a room with a single bed and a broken TV. The PI sent photos. Maya looked thinner. Her eyes were hollow. She wore the same sweatshirt 3 days in a row. She didn't smile. Damian drove there that night. He left Leo with Marta and a bottle of expressed breast milk that Maya had frozen before she left, 40 ounces, stored like gold. For emergencies, she'd told Marta. If I'm not here. He stood outside Maya's motel room at 2 a.m. The light was on. He could see her shadow through the cheap curtain. She was sitting on the bed, staring at her phone. A photo of Leo on the screen. Damian knocked. The shadow froze. Then the door opened a crack. Maya's face appeared. Her eyes were red. Her hair was a mess. She looked at him like he was a ghost. You're not supposed to be here, she whispered. I'm not supposed to do a lot of things. Damian pushed the door gently. She stepped back. He entered. The room smelled like instant noodles and despair. I've been looking for you for 12 days. Why? Because Leo won't stop crying. Because I can't sleep. Because the nursery smells like your paint. He stepped closer. Because I love you. And I don't care about the contract. I don't care about the money. I care about you. Maya shook her head. Lily's surgery is in 2 days. If I breach the contract, the money gets recalled. She dies. Do you understand? She dies, Damian. My 8-year-old sister who believes in Santa Claus and colors me pictures of unicorns. She will die because I wanted to hold a baby that was never mine. Leo is yours. Damian's voice broke. He came out of your body. He has your stubbornness. He screams like you argue. He's yours, Maya. And I'm yours. Both of us. We're begging you to come home. There is no home. Maya backed away until her legs hit the bed. She sat down heavily. There's a contract. There's a clause. There's a billionaire who hired a poor girl to be an incubator. That's the story. That's the only story. Then write a new one. Damian knelt in front of her. He took her cold hands in his. I talked to a different lawyer, he said. Not Chen. someone who hates fine print. There's a loophole, a technicality. If I marry you before the separation period ends, which it hasn't, the contract becomes null. Spousal privilege overrides surrogacy clauses in this state. It's a gray area, but it's a chance. Maya stared at him. You want to marry me? To break a contract? I want to marry you because you painted a tree in a room you weren't supposed to enter. Because you named our son without asking permission. Because you sang to him when I was too cowardly to feel anything. Damian's voice was steady now. Certain. The contract is a piece of paper. You and Leo and Lily, you're my life. I'm not asking you to be a surrogate. I'm asking you to be my wife. My partner. My family. And if the loophole doesn't work, then I will personally fund Lily's surgery with cash. Untraceable. Off the books. I will pay for her recovery, her education, her wedding. I will burn the contract in front of a judge and dare anyone to stop me. He squeezed her hands. I spent 10 years being afraid of love. I'm not afraid anymore. I'm afraid of losing you. Maya's tears fell on their joined hands. You barely know me. I know you hum Moon River when you're nervous. I know you add too much salt to everything you cook. I know you talk to plants like they're people. He smiled, a real smile, crooked and vulnerable. I know you're the best thing that ever happened to a man who thought he was beyond saving. She laughed. It was watery and broken, but it was a laugh. You're insane, she said. Probably. And you're serious about this? About us? Damian pulled a small velvet box from his jacket pocket. He opened it. Inside was a simple gold band, not a diamond, because Maya had once mentioned in passing that diamonds were blood money. I had Marta pick it out, he said. She said you'd like something simple. Maya looked at the ring. Looked at Damian. Looked at the phone on the bed with Leo's photo still glowing. Lily's surgery is in 2 days, she said. Then we'll be there. The three of us. 4. We'll hold her hand together. She took a breath. Then another. Then she held out her left hand. Put it on, she said. And then drive me to the hospital. I need to see my sister. And then I need to see my son. Damian slid the ring onto her finger. It fit perfectly. They were married 6 hours later by a justice of the peace in a hospital chapel. Lily was there, still in her hospital gown, holding a stuffed rabbit. Marta held Leo, who was finally sleeping. The ceremony took 7 minutes. There were no flowers, no music, no guests except the nurse who cried in the back row. When the justice said, "You may kiss the bride," Damian kissed Maya like he was drowning and she was air. Lily clapped. Leo slept on. And the contract that was supposed to be unbreakable, crumbled into legal dust. 6 months later, Leo took his first steps. It happened on a Sunday morning in the nursery with the half-finished tree mural. Maya was on the floor with Lily, coloring. Damian was making pancakes, badly, in the guest house kitchen that had become the family kitchen. Marta was on vacation. For the first time, they were alone. The 4 of them. Leo pulled himself up on the crib rail. He wobbled. He looked at Maya. He looked at the painted tree. Then he let go and took 1 step. Then another. Then he fell, giggling, into Lily's lap. He walked. Lily shrieked. Maya. He walked. Maya scooped Leo up. He grabbed her hair and yanked. She laughed until she cried. Damian ran in, spatula in hand, pancake batter on his shirt. What happened? Is he okay? He walked, Maya said. Our son walked. Damian dropped the spatula. He knelt beside them. Leo reached for his father's nose and squeezed. He's going to be trouble, Damian said. He's going to be you, Maya replied. Poor kid. Lily tugged Maya's sleeve. Can we go to the ocean now? You promised. After pancakes, Maya said. They ate breakfast on the patio. Burnt pancakes, too much syrup, Leo smashing banana into his hair. The sun was warm. The garden was blooming. Somewhere inside the main house, a lawyer was shredding the last copies of the original contract. That afternoon, Damian drove them to the coast. 3 hours in a borrowed SUV because his Bentley didn't have car seats. Lily pressed her face to the window the whole way. When she saw the ocean for the first time, she gasped. It's so big, she whispered. It never ends. Neither does love, Maya said. She looked at Damian. He was watching her. Always watching her. They walked on the sand. Leo in a baby carrier on Damian's chest. Lily running from waves, shrieking with joy. Maya barefoot, her wedding ring catching the light. Damian stopped walking. He turned to face the water. Thank you, he said quietly. For what? For not giving up. For staying. For painting that damned tree. He looked at her. I was dead before you came. Walking around in a suit, signing papers, waiting to join Helen. You brought me back. Maya touched his cheek. You brought yourself back. The contract was just an excuse. The contract I couldn't break. He laughed. Except I did. We did. That's the secret, Maya said. Contracts don't break people. Love does. But it also rebuilds them. Lily ran up, soaking wet, laughing. Can we build a sandcastle? A huge one? With a moat? We can build anything, Damian said. He lifted Lily onto his shoulders. That's what families do. They built a castle. It collapsed twice. Leo cried when a wave washed away the drawbridge. Lily declared it the best day of my whole entire life. Maya took 100 photos. Damian forgot to check his email for the first time in a decade. That night, after Lily and Leo were asleep, Damian and Maya sat on the beach. The stars were out. The waves were quiet. I have one regret, Damian said. Only one. I never asked you properly. With a ring. With a speech. With everything you deserve. Maya leaned against him. You asked me in a motel room while I was wearing a sweatshirt I'd had for 3 days. It was perfect. No, he turned to face her. He took both her hands. Maya Rose Collins Black. Will you marry me again? In front of everyone. With flowers. With music. With Lily as the flower girl and Leo as the ring bearer, even though he'll probably eat the rings. Maya's eyes filled. You want a wedding? I want the world to know that the contract is gone. That you chose me. That I chose you. That we built something unbreakable out of something that was designed to fail. She kissed him. Salt on her lips. Sand in her hair. Leo crying faintly from the hotel room, because even miracles woke up hungry. Yes, she said. 1,000 times yes. The wedding was 3 months later. In the garden of the estate. The same garden where Maya had walked her mandated 15 minutes, alone and pregnant and terrified. Now it was filled with fairy lights and roses and 100 guests. Marta cried. Lily threw flower petals with aggressive enthusiasm. Leo wore a tiny tuxedo and tried to eat the rings, exactly as predicted. Damian waited at the altar. When Maya walked down the aisle, she wasn't wearing white. She was wearing a dress the color of the ocean. Her belly was flat now. Her heart was full. "You're late," Damian whispered when she reached him. "I'm exactly on time," she whispered back. The officiant spoke about love and contracts and the beautiful foolishness of believing two broken people can make something whole. Lily sniffled. Leo blew a raspberry. Everyone laughed. "Do you, Maya, take this reformed contract-obsessed billionaire to be your husband?" "I do. Even without a clause." "Do you, Damian, take this stubborn, tree-painting, baby-naming force of nature to be your wife?" "I do. And I will never sign another agreement without her approval." They exchanged rings. They kissed. The garden erupted in applause. Later, at the reception, Damian stood up to give a toast. He held Leo on his hip. Maya held Lily's hand. "I wrote a contract once," Damian said. "It was the cruelest thing I've ever done. I tried to ban love. I tried to ban attachment. I tried to reduce a remarkable woman to a transaction." He looked at Maya. She broke every rule. She painted a mural. She named our son. She sang to him when I was too broken to sing. And in breaking my contract, she fixed my heart. He raised his glass. To Maya. To Leo. To Lily. To the beautiful, terrifying chaos of family. I couldn't break that contract. But she did. And I will spend the rest of my life thanking her for it. Everyone cheered. Leo grabbed the microphone and screamed. Maya laughed so hard she cried. That night, long after the guests left, Maya and Damian sat in the nursery. The tree mural was finished now. Maya had added birds and a small swing and a sun that Leo liked to point at. Leo was asleep in his crib. Lily was asleep in the next room. The house was quiet. "Do you ever wonder what would have happened if you'd never signed?" Damian asked. "Every day," Maya said. "Lily would be dead. I'd be alone. You'd be alone. Leo wouldn't exist." She leaned her head on his shoulder. "The contract was terrible. But it brought us here. So it was worth it." Maya looked at Leo. At her wedding ring. At the man who had learned to love again. "Some contracts are made to be broken," she said. "And some hearts are worth the penalty."